Hello students, so here your teacher Ruminder Kaur and I welcome you in the chapter number 17, Breathing and Exchange of Gases. So simply, if we talk about various kind of gases that are present in the atmosphere, we need especially oxygen that is mostly exhaled or given by plants. So it is just an exchange of gas that takes place between plants and animals. So breathing is generally intaking or inhaling of oxygen and exhaling of carbon dioxide. Now, that oxygen, where it is needed in the body, how it gets transported to each and every cell, tissue, organ, and organ systems, what are the different transport systems and components that are helping in it, what are the different processes involved? What are the pathways? What are the different disorders? And how our respiration rate is regulated by our nervous system. So, this is all that we are going to talk about in this chapter, breathing and exchange of gases. So before starting, let's move to its mind map that is going to help you a basic understanding of this chapter. So first of all, there are different organisms that use different respiratory systems or organs to intake oxygen. Some use gills like fishes and other aquatic animals that are taking dissolved oxygen. Others can use simply lungs, such as terrestrial animals like human beings. Then, tracheal systems are used by insects, centipedes, millipedes, and some use their skin as exchange organ for gases. Then are the systems which is called as respiratory system. It starts with inhalation. Inhalation means there will be a change in the lung part that will intake oxygen in the body with the help of diaphragm, ribs, and the muscles that are surrounding the lungs. And similarly, expiration, that means exhaling of carbon dioxide, again with the help of diaphragm, ribs, and the sternum bone that is present in the middle, also known as chest bone. Then we are going to talk about various volumes which will talk about what is our capacity to inhale and exhale normally or forcefully. Then there is very important topic that how the lungs they will exchange the gases such as oxygen and carbon dioxide with our blood, because blood is playing an important role. It is a connective tissue that will take the oxygen to the body tissues and bring the carbon dioxide from body organs and then similarly send it to the lungs. Then there is a topic about transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxide by blood through different pathways. Hemoglobin is a very important pigment present in the red blood cells, that how it intake and binds with oxygen and make complex compounds and deliver the oxygen to each and every body organ. And similarly, carbon dioxide dissolves in water and it makes bicarbonate ions and so on. And nervous system plays important role, that sometimes respiration rates becomes higher and sometimes it's slow. Various kind of disorders are related with respiration, such as a very new pandemic situation through which we all are going through, so that is corona disease. So COVID-19 is also a respiratory disorder along with asthma, emphysema, pneumonia, lung cancer, or bronchitis. So without delay, let's start with our chapter. So, very first thing, oxygen is required by every organism. If we talk about plants also, they need carbon dioxide for photosynthesis process by which they synthesize the food inside them, right? So that's why we call them as autotrophs, but they also need oxygen for respiration. Now, how breathing and respiration are differentiated from each other? Respiration is the process by which we say the oxygen that is inhaled by the body is required to break down the food particles. The food particle means glucose. So, when oxygen binds with the glucose, it will form number one, carbon dioxide, number second, water, and the most important, energy in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, that we also call as energy currency of the cell. It is produced inside the mitochondria that act as a powerhouse of the cell, so very vital organelle present in each and every cell. So this is very important that you must clear between the two terms, that how breathing and respiration they are connected and how they are varying from each other. So, when we talk about breaking down of food particles, breaking down means that the food we intake, either in the form of carbs, means carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals, it is not easily absorbed by our body. It has to be broken down. So that we have studied in the digestive system chapter, that how various enzymes secreted by various kind of glands in the alimentary canal, and they are giving us a very simple compounds at the end, such as glucose, amino acids, fatty acids, and glycerols. But these simple compounds, they are not easily absorbed by the body and they cannot directly give us energy. So it has to perform various activities to deliver energy from them. So that's why respiration is very important. Now, if we talk about carbon dioxide that is released during respiration process, our body cannot store that carbon dioxide because it is harmful. So it is needed to remove out of the body. And our every body cell needs oxygen continuously. Even for a fraction of second, the body can't resist without oxygen, and the carbon dioxide has to released out. So this process of exchange of gases is called as breathing, and respiration means when that oxygen binds with the food and breaks it down into energy. So if you place your hand on your chest, you can feel the chest moving up and down. So it is not a voluntarily process. Involuntary, your body is performing the same process 24 into 7. Right? So how do we breathe? Which kind of organs are needed for respiration or breathing? What are the processes behind it? So let's start with the chapter. So very first part is respiratory organs. In us, we say lungs are helping in respiration, but in different kind of organisms, there are different respiratory organs. In the very first case, like flatworms are there. So in flatworms, the body wall or the body surface helps in exchange of gases. So it's very simple. Diffusion takes place, oxygen comes inside because outside concentration is more and inside it is less, and carbon dioxide moves outside. If we talk about fishes, so gills are very important respiratory organs which are covered by operculum, and they take up the dissolved oxygen that is present in the water. So they need to take that oxygen at a very high amount because the amount of oxygen in water is less as compared to the air. Number third, they have talked about arthropods. So most of the insects, they have small openings on their body surface which we call as spiracles, and they are connected to trachea. So trachea helps in exchange of gases. Coming to number 4, which are the mammals. So we have a proper lung structure in which there is windpipe called as trachea, finally covered by cartilaginous rings, then divided into branched forms called as bronchi, then into bronchioles, and at the end a balloon like structures or a sac like structures called as alveoli, and alveoli are connected to the blood vessels, that means arteries and veins, and finally helps in exchange of gases. So all that is written in this paragraph. So it depends upon the type of organism, their nature of residence, their level of organization. Very lower invertebrates like coming under phylum Porifera, then coelentrates, flatworms means platyhelminthes. So they are using their body surface. In case of annelids such as earthworms, because they have the cuticle layer around them, so that is very moist. So again, and insects, they have a tracheal tubes. And in case of fishes, and even in aquatic arthropods and mollusk, means those insects that they are living in water, and those mollusks, like they are mostly marine in nature, pila, octopus, they have branchial respiration. And lungs, those organisms who have lungs, that kind of respiration is called as pulmonary respiration. So this is a very important feature, that most of the organisms which are terrestrial, most complex, they are using lungs for respiring. And fishes use gills, amphibians, reptiles, birds and mammals respire through the lungs. So amphibians, because they can live both on land as well as in water, so they can use three, either gills, lungs or skin. So with this, we are coming to inhalation process, that is very important. The air consists of oxygen and many other gases, so it does not mean that our nose can filter only oxygen. The amount of oxygen is more, and carbon dioxide also we are inhaling, that is afterwards during the exhalation process it is removed out of the body. So either with the help of nose or mouth we are inhaling, then it travels to the pharynx and larynx. Larynx is the voice box, right? And after filtration, why, which filtration is required? Because unwanted foreign particles can enter, so there are cilias present in the pharynx which can trap those microorganisms or other unwanted particles, and sometimes we started sneezing as well, or allergic kind of reactions can start. And then coming to the windpipe, that is trachea. From the trachea it will enter into bronchi, and finally into bronchioles, and ending to the alveoli. So alveoli is the place, that surface where exchange of gases will takes place with the blood capillaries. So in the next video lecture, we will talk about human respiratory system, what are the different organs involved in it. Till that, you will keep on learning about the introductory part. Thank you, students.